This is my 1968 Unimog 404. Unimogs are pretty much world renowned for their ability to go places and do things that stop other rigs. I've been running this now for a couple of years, and I can tell you that Unimogs will not go everywhere. There's quite a lot that'll stop a Unimog, and I've had to find that out the hard way. Now, what you've got in the front here is a winch. I didn't spring for a 24 volt winch. I sprung for a 12 volt winch, 9,000 pound. I have a 12,000 pound, which I can use if I have it with me. But this is the one that seems to show up more often than not. So how do I get a 12 volt winch to work on a 24 volt rig? Let me show you how. First, I wired the winch so that I have a quick connect, 110 amp. Here on the truck, I ran the same quick connect, and I ran 2-gauge wire, or basically heavy-duty jumper cables, to the rear battery box. Now here, once I arrived at the rear battery box, I wired to one battery. I wired the negative, or rather the positive, and the negative here. This little lead you see up front, that's for a set of jumper cables, 12 volt as well. So I've isolated the battery voltage, and if you put it on a multimeter, you will show just 12 volts. However, there's something else going on. Remember, you're grounded through the frame. So you have to disconnect the battery box from the frame if you're going to get just 12 volts through the winch, because the winch is grounded through the frame. So here's how you do it. Underneath the front seat, Swiss and German engineers have given you an emergency disconnect, and it just happens to disconnect and connect through the frame ground. So when it comes time to winch, the vehicle will run. It will not start. You can't run the starter motor because obviously you don't have any battery power if you disconnect this, but the vehicle will run while this is disconnected, while the ground is not straight through. I'm not certain exactly what's happening with the generator, but it doesn't seem like it's hurting anything because I've done it on a couple of occasions now. So this is disconnected, and I winch as I need to, and then unplug the disconnector, reach under the seat, throw the ground back in sync, and the vehicle will charge as normal. So there's a couple of shortcomings. Number one, you do not want to stall your vehicle if you're running the winch extensively. Because remember, you're going to have to get out. Hopefully you're going to have enough battery voltage left to run a 24 volt starter. That's how I run a 12 volt winch on a 24 volt Unimog.